Welcome back to Thrive to 30. We have gone through a few chapters of this journey. We've rediscovered who we are, we've dreamed about the life we wanted, and we got really clear on our priorities and the vision that we want to create. But dreaming isn't enough. We're actually going to start becoming the woman of our dreams and create the life that we want. But what does this future self actually mean? How can we meet our future self and understand who exactly she is and notice the gap from where we are today to who we want to become? And how can we start today so that the life that we want and what we want our life to look like can actually become a reality? It's really about taking it one step at a time, 1 week at a time, and becoming your future self isn't about doing it overnight. So today we are talking about that future self energy, becoming her, and starting that journey of no longer dreaming, hoping, and wishing, but taking action, doing the work, and going all in into who you want to be, how you can be your happiest self, and live that ideal life of who you want to be. If you're new, this is Thrive to 30. I started December 31st, 2025, and we are going until September 26th, 2028, when I turn 30 years old. It's a 1,000-day challenge of setting the foundation, understanding where I want to go and build from there and bloom until I become that person of my dreams. I'm sharing all behind the scenes, and the journey that I'm on in the Thrive to 30 is all about the Believe to Become system, where you believe in yourself, build the life of your dreams, balance your day-to-day life, and become with time. Here at Balance While Blooming, there's so much more than Thrive to 30. There's mindset, productivity, and so much more. But Thrive to 30 is a big series here that we are continuously going to share with you throughout the next months and years. So follow along, join our community, and let me know what other videos outside of Thrive to 30 about anything that we talk about today that you want me to dive deeper on that kind of aligns with it. We do everything, as I said, from understanding your belief system to building habits and systems and routines to finding balance and planning your life for success and blooming so much more. But the Thrive to 30 is all about locking in, going all in for the next 1,000 days and understanding that you can become your best self and live your ideal life. So let's really talk about what does our future self actually mean. When I say future self, I don't mean pretending to be someone you're not. I mean becoming a little bit more of the person you want to become, the woman that you want to be every single day. It's really about building blocks from one step at a time, and those small choices leading to a big transformation. We always say that there's no overnight success, but there's also never wanting, dreaming, and just waiting. You have to do the work, and it's never going to just magically happen. But from the outside, people can really see that shift in maybe 30 days, 60 days, 1,000 days. But for you, it is just ticking it off one day at a time. So let's meet your future self. Who is she? And walk through these few questions of who you want to be. What kind of person do you want to be? What habits does she embody weekly, daily, monthly? And how does she spend her time? Who does she talk to? How does she talk to herself? And what does she prioritize to live her best life? And how does she handle when things get tough? I really want you to think about this because I have. And I just actually talked about this. Of the person that I want to be is someone who is calm, cool, collected, who feels fulfilled, feels joyful, and understands that there's multiple areas of life, different seasons of life. And I want to prioritize what matters most in this season. How do I talk to myself? I want to be as positive and be my bestie and understand who I am, but I also want to spend my time inspiring others, holding people accountable and supporting them while I'm still on my journey and on my path, because we're all different, we're all unique. But it's also important that I understand the habits that I need to make. That means showing up for myself, showing up for this community, understanding who I am today and who I want to become based off the person that I am. Who do I want to bloom into? How am I going to become her? And what do I need to do so that I never quit? What is my why? Who do I want to be? And what am I going to do to become there? It's not about really comparing where I'm at today with who I want to become, but it's also showing up for the gap, this uncomfortable period in the middle where you have to understand where you're already showing up like her, what habits are keeping you stuck that you need to now let go of, and understand that there is a learning curve as you bloom. Growth isn't linear. Growth is all about this roller coaster ride where we can't feel guilty or beat ourselves up for when we are hitting those failures or those setbacks or those challenges. We need to understand that it's all about understanding that this is leveling us up, teaching us a new lesson, or evolving from who we want to be. We need to understand that our daily actions and how we show up or what we don't do is what is either going to make us closer or further away from the life that we want and this person that we want to be. So when you look and reflect on your week or your day, that you understand that you are either getting steps closer to who you want to be or you're taking setbacks and challenges and letting it overcome the life that you want. So we really need to start becoming her today. It's all about that mindset shift of no longer waiting until you feel ready. Start making the decisions like you are today, and that we aren't making excuses of not being ready, not having the time, not having the energy, and saying, I'm going to show up either way, one decision at a time, one choice at a time, and one habit, goal, action at a time, because every small action is building your new identity. You are now not only keeping promises to yourself so that you believe in it, but you're building from a foundation of understanding that without doing the consistency, you'll never become this person because it won't lock in. When you start to become her, you start showing up as her. You start doing the work, you start doing the actions, and you start understanding that you are now shifting who you are, not only mentally, but physically in your life. You are choosing different, you're acting different, and you're showing up for a life and a cycle that you want. We need to be disciplined to continuously show up, but we also need to be consistent to make that repetition so it feels more natural, it feels right, and it feels like who you are becoming. This chapter of this foundation or this building period is all about becoming your best self, having her energy, understanding what I say yes to, what I say no to, what is a priority, what is a boundary, where do I need to set those different shifts in life, because what does that life look like when I am my future self? Am I having successful mornings? Do I have calm nights? Am I being more intentional with my time and my energy? Am I going to the gym even when I don't feel like it and saying, even though this may be hard, I need to show up for myself? Am I keeping those promises, as I said? Or are you saying no things that no longer align? It's really letting go of the things that are not protecting your peace, that are not setting you up for success, and that we are all on this journey. Do I expect you to be perfect? No, trust me, I've been on my journey for 3 years and I had the perfect life when I started, but it wasn't my ideal life. It wasn't my best self. And I'm still a version of myself that I was 3 years ago, sometimes mentally, physically, or emotionally. And then there's days that I have to remind myself that no, we're evolving. We've come so far, and that it's been these tiny steps that have leveled me up, that have made me who I am today, and who are not letting me settle for anything less. But it's all about those tiny steps, those choices, those decisions that are choosing to let me become the person I want to be. You need to challenge yourself to ask yourself, what would my best self be doing right now? What is this decision or choice if I was my ideal self today? If that future self was who I needed to be? And that's where creating an alter ego is so important, because so many times we compare ourselves to a famous person or someone that we look up to. And why not look up to your future self? Why not choose them for your alter ego? Why not be like, would she do this? Would future Bridget do this? Because yeah, I'm a wife, I'm a stepmom, I work a full 9 to 5, and I'm balancing my passions with my purpose, but there's so much more to me. And if I decide to do this today, is that what she would do in 3 to 5 years if I could become that person? And if so, what does that look like? Because becoming your future self isn't about changing overnight. It's about those small decisions, one day at a time, again and again, choosing your future self and understanding that everyday actions are what is actually going to shape the person you are becoming. So I want to ask you, what is meeting your future self going to look like? If you could meet the person that you wanted to be in 5 years, what would they tell you? What would they act like? What would they do? And how can you shrink the gap from where you are today to who you want to become? And what is one thing that you can do today to mentally, physically, or emotionally get you in a step further to who you want to be? And what is that going to look like? Is it keeping your promises to yourself because you believe that you're capable and you have the energy and you have the effort and you know what you need to do? Or is it that you need to build the habits for who you want to become so that you always show up for yourself, you stay accountable, and you have the discipline to do what she would do? Or is it that you need to find balance into what you need to let go of, what is no longer serving you, so that you can make room and time for what you need to do? There is that balance level of give and take. We can't do it all. So you need to let go of who you are today to become your ideal self. And then how are you blooming? What can you learn from your day-to-day actions? Is it your alter ego that is doing something that you may not be used to and you need to step out of your comfort zone? Do you need to step into this new power of who you're becoming? And how can you evolve and learn and grow from that version of yourself? And then how can you choose progress over perfection? Because becoming is a journey, and becoming this person is going to be more than just one step at a time, but it's about every single day showing up for her, showing up as the person you want to be, and knowing that you may not be her yet, but you're so much closer to who you want to be because you said yes to something today to show up as her, and you're 1% better than yesterday. And that's what the journey is all about. As we're thriving to 30, it's important to understand that this is a journey. 1,000 days is a long time, and we're about to hit the 250 mark in a couple months, and I am more confident than I've ever been. I am stepping into the person I want to be. I have been really sacrificing some time and energy and effort to be this person that I want to be, but if I never decided who I wanted to be, how would I become that person? I really want you to stop dreaming about the life, stop dreaming about the person you want to be, and start taking action to really having that future self energy and start loading her up one day at a time so that you can start becoming her one step at a time, one day at a time, and really take this journey alongside me as I inspire you, support you, and hold you accountable. Let me know an aspect of who she is for you. For me, I want to really work on being focused and understanding that this version of myself is disciplined in every area of life, and that she isn't scatterbrained, and she's not this person who is just going to wing it all the time, that we have intention and that we're becoming our best self by understanding who that person is, shifting it as we learn who we are, and understanding that who your future self is continuously evolving, continuously changing, and showing up for her one day at a time is just going to get you closer to your dreams, your goals, and the life that you want to live. So keep believing, keep building, keep balancing, and keep blooming, and join this community as we go on this Thrive to 30. Check out other videos that I have on my channel, and understand that if you are just starting the Thrive to 30 journey, there is a whole playlist here for you to live your best life, start your journey, and go along on this journey with me. I cannot wait to see who you want to become and your future self energy of who you want to bloom into. But for now, let's keep thriving. Let's work on our 1,000-day journey, and I will see you guys soon. Bye, guys.